right. You're welcome to today's live. So I'm starting a live series where I'm going to be bringing in guests. I'm going to be bringing in guests, to talk about different issues, marriage, relationship, family, wellness, emotional well-being, mental health. We're talking about different topics, right? And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. I have fantastic lineup. So today is just more like a launch of my life where we'll be bringing in a lot of guests to the life. So I'm super excited to be here today. And today we'll be talking about singleness, especially when it's as if, it's been a long time, especially when it's like it's not, you're being single and you're already getting to your late 20s, your early 30s, your mid 30s, even your late 30s. Some people are still single in their early 40s and even late 40s. So let's have that discussion today about singleness, right? Being a bachelor, being a splinter, they call it. So today I have a guest. She's my friend. Her name is Lio, Coach Lio, and we're going to be having this conversation together. So please share the link, share this live with your friends, with your family, with your sister, your brother. We're going to be having this conversation is going to be explosive. It's going to be massive. All right. So I'm waiting for Lio. Lio will soon be here. So if you're watching the replay, you can just move a little bit, let's say 5 minutes or 10 minutes. If you're watching, hey,
Hello, hello. Oh,
hey,
hello.
I can hear you, I can see you.
Awesome. Awesome.
You're looking prettier, like
Please wait.
Shelley.
I beg, wait. Are we live yet?
We are live, oh.
Okay, so let me. I'll go for something. Thank God I have to. We'll take the other things after.
You're looking pretty, oh. Like,
It's God. It's
yes,
the
we know
hand
it's
of God.
God, but you
Let
need
me
to
use
give
my
us,
headset.
you need to give us your recipe.
My dear brother, is the hand
You know,
of
I
God.
was telling you when you're on the South African radio that
Yes, you did.
Ewa
We thank the Lord. We thank the Lord.
All right, so you're welcome to this live. I can see people already on the live. Today we are about to talk about a very important conversation about singleness, right? We have a lot of people who are, have been single beyond what they thought they would be. So, we want to have this conversation. Is singleness a bad thing? um, I'm not married. I'm already getting to. I'm 30 years old, or I'm in my early 30s. I'm in my mid 30s. I'm in my late 30s. I'm in my early 40s. I'm in my late 40s. So
Yeah.
recently, I've had men reach out to me, and these men are 48, 49, never been married.
Oh wow.
Yeah, never been married. And it's a very very serious problem. No, it's not a problem. I don't think it's a problem, but it's a serious concern to a lot
Yeah.
of
It's
people. So we
consent.
want to talk about that today. And I have the one and only, the one and only Coach Lion. Coach Lion is a
Drum
and I'm
rolls.
not even being. You know because she's my friend as I'm saying this. She's a sweet human being, and I'm not the only one that can testify. I'm not the only one that can testify. Lio, when Lio got you, he got you. Yeah,
Hundreds.
good.
A
All
hundred.
right, and you've been a blessing to me, and we want to have this conversation today. So let's hear from you. What do you think? Have you shared the link to our people?
Yes, I
Okay,
have.
we'll be expecting them to join. And for those that don't join, they are going to watch the replay. Most time people prefer to watch the replay. So
Mm.
please, if you want to watch the replay, you're watching the replay, you're welcome to this live. We're happy to have you here. Yes, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me here. And you've always been my brother. I think, and I know now that it was God's plan for us to meet when we met, right? And for all those years, I've never had any reason to regret knowing you. You've been a friend, a brother, mostly offline, right? And I must just say thank you for all that you do, for me outside of the camera. So yes, I know that today's topic is an interesting one, and I like the fact that when I called you to say what format are we going to take, you say, oh, we are just gisting the way we gist, behind the scenes, and so this is all just having a conversation, and then we know that people will be blessed as we go along
Yeah.
with it. Yeah. So when we talk about singleness and talking about being single, is it delay or God's divine timing? I think from experience it could be both, right? I think it could be both. It could be either of the two. And the way I define delay and singleness, I normally would use this illustration. And what I normally would use is, imagine you and I, Dennis, playing chess, right? We are both playing chess, the game of chess. And of course, before you can play, right? If I'm the first person to play, before you can play, I have to play my own turn first of all, before you
Yeah.
then get to play, right? And
Yes.
so if I play and I'm then waiting for Dennis to play, and Dennis is not playing, now in this context, Dennis is God in this context. And so I've played, and then it looks as though God is not playing his own yet. In my human understanding, I'll be happy to say that I am waiting. I'm waiting on God. But when God has played his own part, right, and it's now my turn, and for different reasons I'm not playing, I can't say I'm waiting at that point, right? So I think what we do determines who does what, determines whether it is being delayed and being single, right? So when I don't do my own part of the deal, it's not that I'm waiting. You're not waiting on anybody. Actually, people are waiting on you. So at that point, the delay is caused by you. You're the one causing the delay and not God. Some people will say, oh, it's possible that I've done everything I meant to do, and there's still something spiritual, because most of the time we like to talk about the spiritual point. Yes, so now delay would never come from God. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Waiting would always be from God. Delay can come from me as a person, or maybe there's another force opposing my being married or that wants me to be single. Do you understand? In those instances, yes, there'll be delay. And it's funny enough to know that either of the two is still lies primarily in my hand to sort it out. Whether it's from the opposing force or myself, the power to fix either of the two situations lies solely in my hand, because God would has always done his own part of the deal even before I was born, right? So God does not delay anybody in that regard. Sometimes it's not mercy speaking that does not make certain things come to play, right? Because sometimes we feel like we have done our own part, and this is why I like what I think it was Bishop Oyedepo that said that anytime something goes wrong in his life, he has never said God why, because it says that because God cannot do anything wrong. So the first thing he always gets to ask is, what have I not gotten? What am I doing wrong? Because that moment in that situation, it means that you can now ask questions and get it. But when you say it to somebody else, most of the time, and you know this, Coach Dennis, and if I say you're the one delaying me, it means that I can't do anything. I'm waiting for you to do what you need to do. I've done my own part, right? But most of the time, that's not the way delay plays. When it is delayed, it is you that you have not done the right things. It is you that have not done the things you ought to do, because God would never do anything, right, that would delay you in that context, right? Yeah. So I'll start from there. Yeah.
It is not sit I'm just doing wow. God does not delay anybody.
No.
Right? God does not delay anybody. And that's a very profound knowing, because sometimes it feels that way. But when you have that knowing that God does not delay, just like most times, one of the things that situations will want to impose on you is that God does not love you, right? And when you start thinking God does not love me, God does not care. If He cares, why has He not answered me? If He cares, why has He not answered my prayers? The Bible says God is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness. But he's actually is the one waiting for us to repent. And
Absolutely.
sometimes, as a marriage counselor, I work with a lot of couples. When people come for my sessions, I look at them, I'm like, you're not supposed to be married yet.
Okay, we are getting there.
You're
Okay.
not supposed to be married yet. You are not ready. Right? And like you said, most times it's actually God waiting on us. Right? Most times actually God. I think so. I don't like those things, so I know so. That most times, like, and you said something very profound that God has done everything before we even born.
Everything.
Your marriage is settled, your finances is settled, your provision is settled already in Christ Jesus. So it's more the most times the onus is on us, right? And I think I want to think this thing has different dimension. Number one is the timing dimension. Not everybody will get married early. And the painful truth is that not everybody will even get married.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there are people that, according to God's design, they are not meant to get married. There are
Mm.
people that, according to God's design and plan, they are meant to take a while before they get married. And there are people that will marry early in quotes. But you need to understand that in God's perspective, what is most important to God is his purpose and his will. The Bible says he does everything according to the purpose of his will. And we have to, either married or not, you have to always submit your will to God's will. That's a very, very powerful perspective you need to look at it. And sometimes God's will is not palatable to the flesh. There are people that don't want to. When I got married, I necessarily did not want to get married at that time. But the woman that God wanted was already here. And I knew if I don't take it, if I don't enter, this woman might go. I
Mm.
had to do it when I didn't like it, when I was not ready, because I was not financially ready. I was not, in terms of my family then, my parents needed me more. My
Okay.
dad was not feeling too well. My dad was taking treatment. It was not conducive. At that point, I actually, if I had my way, I actually wanted more time. I wanted to be
Oh wow.
single. But because I think it was God's time, if I had not done it then, it was not convenient in any way. To the point that on my wedding, a day before my wedding, my suit was not ready.
Oh wow.
On my a date, I got my wedding on my suit on the day of my wedding. Yes,
Wow.
midnight. So
Oh
that's
wow.
how bad it was. I was not ready, but it was God's timing. So in this matter of whether I'm single or not, the bitter truth is that God's timing has its play. That's the bitter. It's a bitter truth, right? And most times it's by hindsight when you can answer, if I'd gotten married earlier than this, maybe I would have not been in the purpose of God like I am now. If I'd married later than
Yes.
this,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I would have. And there are a lot of married people that wish they didn't get married the time they got married.
Absolutely. You're right.
A lot.
Oh yes.
So you are not disadvantaged if you are not married yet. As a matter of fact, you're actually very advantaged. You will be surprised the number of married people that wish they are single right now.
True. Very
You
true.
will be surprised. There are a lot of married people that wish they were single. Some are praying for divorce. Some are praying for their spouse to die.
To die. My God.
Yes. So your being single, if you're single, is a bliss. I don't know you. I don't know how old you are, but it's a blessing. Sir or man, it's a blessing. What it means is that you have the opportunity to make the best decision. You have the opportunity to prepare well. You have the opportunity to focus on you, focus on your purpose, your vision, your finance, focus on your life. Build your life. Because once you get married, oh my God,
Life comes at you very fast.
Jesus Christ.
True.
Jesus Christ. You
True.
don't
So
want to know
true.
what my people are going through.
It is a lot. It is. We are going through a lot.
Jesus. Especially women. Oh my God. Either
So
you
true.
marry a good man or not. If you marry, you will go through a lot.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh
My wife
yes.
was telling me just this evening, it's not fair.
You can just go out and come for your Instagram live
It's not fair.
or your YouTube live.
Because, eh?
I said you can just go out for your YouTube live, just like that.
I can just carry my bag now and go out. She cannot try it. If she's traveling, like she has traveled in the past 31 days, she has traveled out of Abuja 3 times. Those 2 out of 3 times she had to go with 2 children. If I want to
Oh
travel
God.
now, I don't have any what they,
Obligation. To
obligation
be honest.
or to travel with the children. How? Why? But my wife, although the last one, the one she did yesterday, she traveled with only the last child, right? But
Yeah.
she doesn't have a choice. Even me myself, like, I feel for you. I wish I can help you, but the
True.
situation of this, so marriage has its own weight, and many people are not built to carry the weight of marriage.
At least not yet.
Not yet. Not That's the bitter truth. And you will see it when they get married. You now realize that no. So what I'm saying at this first point is that your single season is a preparation season. And most times it is God that can really tell whether you are prepared or not. You might be ready, but you're not prepared.
Can be ready and not prepared. Okay.
You can be ready and not prepared. Like, no, I'm ready now. I have breasts. I have all the organs.
Yeah.
But God is saying, no, you're not prepared. Right? And I sense that this season, God is not just making, the Bible says He set the solitaries in families.
Yeah.
But I sense that God is not just setting solitaries in families, God is setting solitaries in family for a purpose. And if He knows that you are not going to enter there to fulfill that purpose, and in His love, He will keep you single. In His love. In His love. And one of the ways you can tap into your singleness is to always be grateful for your singleness. I'll say that again, and this is very profound. Always appreciate your singleness. Go to God and thank Him for His singleness. Worship Him for the fact that you are not married yet. Worship Him. My own point this night is that I want you to appreciate your singleness. Worship God for your singleness. You will be surprised what will come out of it.
So true. So true. So true. Coach Dennis, when you were speaking, so many things were going through my mind. And when you're talking about the fact that appreciate your singleness, a lot of people would always say, it's because they are married, right? But unfortunately, you don't want to wait until you get into the house to find out, or into the home, into the marriage, find out all these things that they told me was actually true. Because at that point it's already late, and that's the reality. At that point that you enter, it's already late. And one thing I know wisdom does is to surround with people that have experience. Nobody says the experience you learn from must necessarily be your own experience, because that's the mistake some of us make. We say experience is the best teacher. Yes, I agree. Number one, it's not just experience that is the best teacher, it is evaluated experience that is the best teacher, the one that you review. One. Number two, the other thing you must realize also is that it doesn't have to be your own experience that needs to teach you, right? Because most of the time people want to be the one to experience it. Why do I need to experience poverty to know that poverty is not good when I can see it? Why do I need to experience a bad marriage before I can say it's true? But do you understand that those things exist? We can see there are samples all around us that those things exist, whether the good or the bad, those things actually do exist, right? And so the reality, and this is what I tell people most of the time, you don't want to be the one to experience the bad thing and then teach other people. You have, as long as you're still single, you have the opportunity to see that these things do exist and make up your own mind that even though this exists, this will not be my experience. And it has to be out of you, not just open. One of my latest slogan now is don't let hope wine you. Because hope wines us a lot. And a lot of people stay in the at the face of hope and they don't ever move to the point of action. And so year in, year out, people stay at the point of hope. They don't get to the point of action, which is where faith now comes to play, right? Because hope without any action is just hope. You just be there forever. And I think that's why a lot of people are where they are. One day you go better is hope. And one day you go better has happened to people till they died, right? And so I would say that for people that are single, don't hope that, oh, this thing would happen one day. They are set. I think that there are certain things that you can do while you are single that is important for you to do. And God would say, well done. One of the scriptures we say in 35, right, in my community for single ladies would be Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22. A little one shall become 1,000, a small one shall become a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in its time. And the day that scripture jumped at me was I realized that truly there's a time for something. And in that time, God hastens everything. It looks as though God now rushes everything at the right time. And I look at my own experience, for example, when I my friend introduced me to my husband. At the time he introduced me, I don't even think that I was looking out for to get married at that point, because everything was going on well. Think I was, I was discovering God and I was enjoying my relationship with Him at that time. I was learning more about myself. I was seeing my strengths. And, coincidentally, it was about the time we met when we were just about to start OLCA, right? So at that
Okay.
point, I was in a good place, and that was not what it was in my mind, to be honest, until my friend insisted. And then fast forward, when we're even going to get married, I kept on saying, "Is this how people get married?" Right? It was just like, no, 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 no. It is how people get married. Okay. And then after the marriage, same month we got married, I got pregnant. And this to
Wow.
buttress what you said. And so I became a mom before 39. I got married at 38.
Wow.
And so people would say, oh, she did this. The reality is that at the right time, the Lord will bring everything that you thought was so far away. It will make it come on time, right? But the truth is that there are certain things that God needs you to do before you enter into that season. Because imagine you trying to be a wife and a mom at the same time if you are not prepared. It takes a lot. And some days I want to pull my hair out because please leave me alone, this girl. Just leave me, right? And I realized how much singlehood was fun. Okay. But one thing I've noticed that we don't normally appreciate what we have until we have lost it, right? And that's one thing that I'm really against, especially for single ladies. Don't wait until you lose the single season to realize how much valuable that time was. Best use of it. And I would always say that at the point when God was going to make Eve, I say this all the time for people that are wondering, no man is coming. When God was going to make Eve, Adam was not in the picture. Adam was sleeping. The problem with the ladies we have today is that they want God to work on them, but they want Adam to be awake. Meanwhile, Adam being awake is going to distract them. And so what God does is to put Adam to sleep and says, you know what, face me, my daughter, face me. Let's fix this thing together. Let's sort this thing out. I want you to be the way I want you to be. So I need to remove something. I need to add some things. And the more we argue with God, the more we are trying to negotiate that process, the more we are being delayed. And I told somebody, whether you marry, God is God. Whether you don't marry, God is still God. So can you just, follow through on what God is saying you should do? Most of the time, find that people that complain about being single and delayed, I always question their relationship with God. Because if you are really inside of God, there are certain things you will know, and there are certain things that should give you peace of mind. It doesn't mean you don't have a conversation with God. Say, God, I want to get married. Oh God, at this point, this should have happened. I'm not saying that will not happen, but I'm saying that there should be a peace with you being single if you're in God. And that is why a lot of us get to worry. The worry is an obvious evidence of the fact that there's something about our relationship with God that we have not yet fixed. When you are really deeply immersed inside of God, Coach Dennis, some things even though it comes up, it will not be a bother anymore. It will not be a case of God, when you are ready, you will do it. I'm going to keep on doing the other things I need to do. And that's why I see that a lot of people do not, people want to have their way. They want to negotiate, they want to have their way in the will of God, if you get my point. And that's not how God is. That's not the way God works, right? And so you find people negotiating their process, saying, why not do it this way? God is saying that you need to get to, for example, you need to get to Abuja, and Abuja, because the roads are bad, the only way you can go through Abuja, right, is to take a flight. Now, because I know the way the plane that goes to Abuja directly is, I need you to first of all get somewhere else, right? Maybe go to a place that there's a stopover. Go to that place, stay there for 2 weeks before you go to Abuja, because the person that you're meant to meet is in that place. That detour, it looks like a detour. But in reality, there's somebody you're meant to meet in that place that looks like it's not part of the plan. You just meet the person, you go your own way. 2 months after, the person comes back and you're like, oh, it begins to join the pieces together. But half the time, what we find out people will do is they would say, it's Abuja, there's a direct flight going to Abuja. Why do I need to make a detour to this place? And that is why most of the time, I find that God is just saying, when you're ready, I'm here. When you're ready, I'm here. And that's the frustration a lot of people have. I'm now hearing that even men are now becoming, conscious of the fact that, oh, I've never been married before. What had happened? What is going on? And I like the fact that the conversation is changing from just ladies to now men, because we need to also have men become aware of the fact that they also need to get married. Some ladies are already, they are ready. I mean, and the phase they are just waiting, right? So it's a case of say, and I like the fact that you're in this space now, so you can begin to share with us. Let the guys also know that some ladies are ready, right? They are fully prepared. They are just waiting. And sometimes the waiting is because you, the son, you are not yet prepared. And God needs to also fix you so that when the son and the daughter meet, the father is still pleased, the father is still glorified.
Hey, my brothers, oh, ladies are ready.
They are waiting. Some ladies are waiting. Truly, they are waiting. They are. And it's so profound to know. But the reason why I'm so particular about ladies is because most of the time in Africa, when we look at it from the African Nigerian view of marriage, it always looks as though the woman has the shorter end of the stick. And because of that, the pressure is always more on the women, right? In
The
fact,
woman has
because
what?
the shorter end of the stick, like they look like they are more disadvantaged. So you find that people will not mock a guy that is 35 and not yet married.
But I've been challenging that of late though, because I've seen that the longer a guy waits before getting married, I think it's very bad for a man to wait too long before he gets married. I think so. From my own experience, in the sense of the people I work with, I've worked on, when a man doesn't get married early, it's a big problem. It's
I
usually
agree.
a big problem.
I agree.
And a lot of the challenges some marriages are having now is because the man married late.
So it's set in his way that he doesn't want to do things the other way.
Yeah.
I agree with
He's
you.
set in his ways, he's rigid, he's unaware, he's just plain stupid, right?
What?
Yes, yes. And the fact that you've gone to a point where you can't be flexible anymore, you will have a problem in your marriage. You become a weapon rather than a safe place for your wife. Apart from that, physically, it's not healthy. By the time life expectancy of most Nigerians or Nigerian men is how old? Many boys at 35 already have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
You are not physically strong to run with a child. You're not physically strong enough to help your wife. You are not physically strong enough to satisfy your wife in bed, right? Your issue of infertility right now, sometimes because of the man is also old.
Mm.
So there are a lot of challenges that come with the fact that if
Come
you're a
again.
guy marry early, it's not only women that have that biological clock. Men also have biological clock. It's just that in this culture, it's not pronounced.
Which is exactly what I'm saying. The fact that the way the culture is now, right? it tends to put women at a disadvantage. In fact, even when they marry at, and they marry even when they are much younger, and the guy seems to be the one that has issues with fertility, you find that this man's family is still putting pressure on the woman as though she were the one, right? And that's why I'm very passionate about women discovering themselves and loving themselves, really, really loving themselves and choosing themselves. Because when you decide to love yourself, that means you are choosing yourself. And when you love yourself, it means that you're not going to settle for less than you deserve. Because most of the time, what we see happen is that a lot of ladies settle for less than they deserve. And unfortunately, when you settle for less than you deserve, what you even get is less than what you settled for. Do you understand? At the end of the day, you don't have any advantage in any way by settling for less, because you decide to settle for less. At the end of the day, what you are going to get is less than what you settled for. So it's not a win-win in any way. So the only thing you can do as a single person, and this is even to both male and female, is to really love yourselves, discover yourself, find out why you're on earth. Those things cannot be negotiated. And if people choose to negotiate it, they pay for it when they get married. And that's why this song I sing a lot of the time, right, is love God, find God. Oh, find God is the anchor that you need. When you find God, the moment you find God, He begins to tell you about yourself. You begin, because you see God, you can see yourself through Him. You know yourself. You know why you are sorted about your purpose, and then God begins to work on your character. God begins to tell you the things you should do and the things you shouldn't do. Right. The problem we have most of the time that people look at other people that can fake it, and we assume that because they didn't go through that process, they are still doing well, and we assume that we can also shortcut or short circuit the process that we are going through because we seem to see other people, but we don't of what we are seeing. We only see the pictures. We see maybe a 1 minute video that does not say anything. We see picture that is not telling any story. They're the ones that created it anyway. And we now make that our basis for choosing who we choose or doing what we need to do. Those things need to change. And if you're going to really get, and I also think that we need to, at the same time, also address the fact that women think that they are the only ones that are special in the eyes of God. Because you would see a woman say, take it would take me the way I am. And my question is why? Why should anybody take you the way you are if you have not fixed the thing that needs to be fixed? There are certain characters that you are displaying. There are certain things that you are doing that we both know that we shouldn't take. You say, if he loves me, no, he doesn't need to, it does not have to, right? Because sometimes you find that this is even the issue some men have in their homes that they can't come out and say in public as well, because again, they're meant to hold it down as the man of the house. Right? And that's why it's so important for both parties, the guy and the lady, to really love themselves, to choose what is right for themselves. Honestly, why would you be badly behaved and you think somebody should endure that because you are beautiful? Do you understand? Why do
Yeah.
you think I said to somebody, God tells you to do some things and you assume that you won't do it, and God will bring His son to you. Let me give my and this is my own personal story. When I started praying to get married, one of the prayers, and the ladies in my community, I've said this to them plenty times. As a single lady, you need to understand, right, that God is king. And so you cannot go and blackmail God into doing what he doesn't want to do. Yeah, even it's not going to happen. So I went to this program, and this person says to me that he wasn't saying he was speaking, but that word was just speaking to. I just prayed before I went for the meeting. And the guy says that God is not interested in you getting married. I knew that thing was for me. And I'm like, excuse me. The guy repeated it again, and I said, I don't understand. He said, because he says, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So if you have a soul problem, you don't need a life partner. If your soul is not fixed yet, because everything that comes out of your life is a function of the health of your soul, right? So until your soul is fixed, a lot of things will be missing, and God will not give His own Son to you that you have issues. And then I kept praying. After that, oh, it pained me. So I started praying, oh God, uh, give me your trusted son. Give me your, give me your trusted son. And I'm sure you read it in the book, right? And God replied me and said, are you my trusted daughter? Now, this is after I prayed. After I'd prayed that prayer for maybe like a month, all the times I pray, I don't hear anything, no response. So then I was like, you don't ever answer me on this thing. And he replied me, one sentence, are you my trusted daughter? He pained me. Because he said this. He pained me. He pained me. And I realized that God also loves his son. So it's not just about the women where we pray. Hey, guys are also praying. Then didn't you pray?
I
We
pray
know
though.
how much you do you understand? We know how much you prayed. So if you have prayed and you have held on your own part, who do I think I am that I'm just going to say, God, you made me, I'm your child. Just give me the guy that has been praying, working on himself when I'm not doing the same thing. And God is not partial. And that's one thing a lot of ladies need to know. God is not partial. The way you are his son, his daughter, is the way the boy too is his son. And he also loves the son the way he loves you. So if there are things that he needs you to do so that the son can come, you better do it. Otherwise, that delay, just wear the cloth very well. Just stay there because it's not going to happen, except you don't go out of his will and find another way to do it. But then you can get married, it's fine. But if you're going to be within the will, ambit of the will of God, you will need to do what he says you should do. Otherwise, you're going to settle for Ishmael. And we know what happens when you settle for Ishmael.
What you're saying is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. And thank God you're the one saying it because if it's a guy that is saying it now, it will look like you are patriarchy. But the reality of the matter is that the quality of person you're looking for also has an expectation,
Are you your
right?
spec?
Yes, yes.
That's
So
just it.
you cannot say you want if you quality, and I don't even think there are no guys. I just think that quality guys also have their their standards,
Bam, bam.
right? And that's just the bitter truth, right?
That's it.
So there are some single ladies that had a beef with me when they discovered I was dating my wife
Oh, wow.
because I was in Lagos. I was in Lagos. I was in a church in Lagos, but
Okay.
the person I chose to marry was in Abuja, not even in my church. And then I had a lot of ladies around me, but no, like no, I can't marry you, like because I can see your behavior, I can see your character, I can see the qualities I'm looking for, but you don't have it. And I'm not going to be sentimental to risk my own life just to please you or choose you. Right. So the truth of the matter is that a lot of quality men are also very meticulous in hitting the choice.
Absolutely. Yes.
Now, you as a lady have to be intentional about working on yourself. Need a lot of humility, right? To know that you have a lot of work to do. It is natural for a woman to feel like she's better. Sure, a lot of marriage is one of the complaints a lot of married men have. My wife feels she's better than me. My wife feels she's doing more than me or something. And the men are just laughing, right? So, and you as a single woman, you need to learn to work on yourself. Talk
Mhm.
to married women and ask them, let them give you honest, bitter truth assessment about yourself, right? I tell my wife something. I said that I told my wife that as she is like this, God forbid, oh, anything that makes her single again, she will most likely get married faster than most single ladies
Mm.
because you have to be a wife to be found. You have to be a wife. That's why you see people are divorced and are remarried women.
True,
I tell
true,
her that there's a
true.
way married women treat me. As I am like this now, Coach Dennis is now. It's different from the way singles treat me. Let
Mm.
me explain. My wife's married friend, there's a way they respect me. The quality is different than the
Okay.
way a single lady interacts with me. It's not the same.
Oh, wow.
There's a way a married woman treats a woman that is married. Me, I'm a man, I can tell the difference. It's different. And it's the same for men. That's why a lot of single women are attracted to married men. because the man has learned some skill and has some capacity to take care of a woman because he's married. So he's easily attractive to other single ladies, right? So what I'm saying is that you have to be a wife before when you are a wife, you will easily attract, or God can easily, bring the man. A lot of single people are not wives. You're just a woman. You are a lady. You're not a
And
wife
it's
yet.
and it's he that finds a wife, right?
You never find a wife. The same thing for men. There are a lot of single guys that are not husband. You're not a husband material yet. You are very selfish, right? You are very as a married person, you'll be very, very sacrificial.
I have to die daily, honestly.
You
That
will
thing is death.
die. You will die.
Death.
Notice
Ah,
your
yeah,
emotions
Jesus.
to
Die.
go, right?
Ah,
You will
Jesus.
become for your spouse. It won't make sense,
Yeah.
right? So, and if you don't, and that's why one of the questions you have to asking yourself: if I'm a wife, how will I handle this? You start talking like a wife. You start behaving like a wife. The same thing for men. You have to start behaving like a husband. You have to start thinking like a husband before you get married. If you wait till you get married before you start thinking, the first few years of your marriage will be a lot of troubles. You have to be a husband before you marry. You have to be a wife before you marry. It's not wedding that makes you a wife. It is
Oh, yes, it's
transformation
not.
that makes you a wife.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It is not wedding that makes you a husband. It is transformation, intentional transformation that makes you a husband. That's why the Bible says, "He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing." So she's already a wife before she's found. And you have to work on yourself intentionally to be a wife for you to really attract a husband or even keep a husband and transition into wedding. I don't know. I don't know whether this is clear.
It's making sense. I also think that, there's something you said that I also want to double down on. When you talked about the fact that there were single ladies that were looking at you, meanwhile you had somebody that was in Abuja that you were dating. I also think, and that reminded me of the story of Adam when Bible says God brought Eve to him. There was a word that he used that when I saw it, I'm like, my God, this thing is Rema. He said, at last means that he has been looking for. So we must also, as ladies, believe that there are men that are looking for wives. He said, at last I have found her, and she shall be called blah blah blah. It was also funny because some ladies don't believe that there are guys that are looking for wives.
A lot.
Do you understand? And your belief system would come out to play. It becomes your reality, right? So as long as you believe that, oh, nobody's searching, why should anybody that's not searching or searching look for you? Because you don't believe it as well. And those things, because I remember you had said that I think for like a year, you're already praying about your wife. You were
Yeah.
praying down the Golano, every day, praying,
Yeah.
declaring what you wanted. And there are still many men like that are doing that, and they don't have to come out and announce it on Instagram or wherever they may be. But there are men like that, right?
I
It will
have
also
I
take.
have guys now. I have guys now that I know they are ready for marriage. Even me that I'm their coach, I'm looking for girl for them. And I don't
Dennis, I have
see.
I have ladies that are
I
ready.
know me, I'm looking for women for them. And me, I know that no, you need this girl, you can't I can't give you this guy. You will yeah, no.
But
I
I
have
also
guys.
I also have sisters that are ready on a serious note, and I just think
So
that
there's this
it's
guy. There's the guy. I will say it in the way that you know. There's this guy that is a pianist for a major big pastor in Nigeria. Big pastor in Nigeria. Like he's a personal pianist. He travels with the pastor across the world. This guy comes to my house one day crying, looking for who to marry. Who?
wow.
He's a
Oh wow.
I then look for a wife for the guy. But the people that I know, sometimes it's not because they are not good enough, but I look at will you be a fit for this person? Because I know the technicality of this person's. this person's ministry. I'm looking for the right fit for him. And I know what he also is looking for. And I'm looking at the ladies I have around me like, no, you're not fit for this person. So what I'm saying is that there are a lot of, like, I'm just trying to expatiate on what you're saying, that there are a lot of guys right now, good guys, quality guys, that are looking for wife. But one of their major complaints is that many of the ladies they interact with are not, no, you're not ready.
Substance no day.
You're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. There was a guy I had to tell. So there was this guy that came to me and like, coach, there's this girl she's taking out on a date. They go to restaurants everywhere. And he told me the time that cut that relationship immediately. This girl will waste your time. She's not ready for commitment. So they go on dates a lot. But anytime the guy is trying to move to the next level, the girl kind of like, let's give it time. Let's give it time. I said, this girl waste your time. You just
That one is
use you
clear.
take pictures in finest restaurants and that's it.
As
She's
clear
not ready.
as day. As
And
clear
this
as
is a
day.
spiritual sister. I tell her, shut up, move on. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your
I
time.
also think, Coach Dennis, now that you have said this, I also think that there are a lot of ladies that say they are ready, but in reality, they don't want to get married yet.
Yes.
They've only said they are ready because I'm 25, I'm 26, I'm 30, I'm 35. But in reality, because sometimes I find out people like, I'm not even sure I'm ready. And this is somebody that maybe we've been praying together for a while. We've been talking about it for a while. Looking for, do you understand? Asking question, and then somehow the person comes and say, I don't even think I'm ready. And that
Do
could be
you
what
know
is
this thing you
playing out with
said now?
this lady as well.
This is I want you to say this thing you said now. It's both guys and girls. Oh. People are looking for the privileges and the enjoyment of
Of
marriage,
marriage without
but they are not
commitment.
ready for the commitment and the responsibilities of marriage.
Hey God. Okay.
They they want the enjoyment and the privileges that come with being a husband and being a wife, but they are not ready for the responsibilities, the weight, and and the demands of being. And they know it, and that's why
So
there's that hesitation.
so my,
Hesitation.
my challenge, and I'll say something. You're right. But I also think that to a large extent, the people that enable them are those ladies or those guys in their lives. Take for instance, a guy is not, he hasn't said that he's not committed, but you can see that there's no commitment. He's there, but he's not there. And if you're going to be honest with yourself, you will know when a guy is present with you. You would know, right? So if a guy is not there, if a guy is there but he's not there, the question, or a lady is there but she's not there, the question is to the people that are with them, why are you still with these people? Which goes back again to you loving yourself enough to demand what you deserve from people.
But you know
Because
why they stay? You know why they stay? Because they are meeting certain needs. Let me tell you,
uh
I'll say this now. A lot of single people that are in relationships that is as if you know the guy is not ready, you know the girl is not ready, but you're still there. It's because number one, it's either both of you are doing bad thing in the secrets. You are doing yourself, you're having in the secret. It may not even be intercourse, but you're doing things. And
yeah.
because of that need is met, you are still enjoying that. And that's why you're not thinking. And the truth of the matter is that if you are in a relationship and you're already having sex, now apart from the fact that it's you are fornicating, apart from that, is that you're not going to be thinking straight. You're going to be blinded by you are going to be blinded by that thing, and you're not going to even see the red flags.
It's true.
You're not going to see that you're wasting your life, you're wasting your time. And that's why we encourage spiritual connection, mental connection, any other connection before sexual connection. Because when sexual connection comes into play, it distorts the whole thing.
Oh, it does.
You will not be able to think straight. Apart from that, some people that are not having sex, your emotional needs have been met. You have somebody that you are just with. You have somebody that is calling you at night, that is keeping you company. So you don't want to lose that and really prepare for the real thing.
Hmm.
So that's what happens to a lot of people. And that's why it's important that If you know you are in a relationship right now that this person is not ready for commitment,
Just leave it.
break it.
Honestly.
It's your life you are wasting. No, it's your life you are wasting. I was in a
Just
relationship for almost 4 years. When I saw that this thing is a waste of time, I broke it. Was it painful? Yes, it was. But I had to. But once I realized, I didn't know. But once I realized that, no, this is a waste of time. I broke it. And you too, you had that experience now. You too.
you read the book, right? Yeah, and it's true. And the truth is, this thing you said, and that for me was, I think it was 3 or 4 years of my life with that guy. But the reality is that, and sometimes we don't even realize why we are doing what we are doing. Yes, the reality is that, right? Come this way. The reality is that at the time that person was in my life, I
Yeah, I
was
can hear you.
okay. I didn't want to. I was happy being in a relationship that was not a relationship. If you get what I'm saying,
Okay.
I was okay with just being in a relationship, and we both knew that this thing is not likely to lead to anything. And I was there for 3 years or 4 years. But the
Ha.
reality is that the moment I chose myself, the moment I realized that well, the moment I realized I wanted something more, right? I started making a demand. Sorry, my daughter.
Mo!
No, I started making a demand, right? And I left. But the truth is that the reason what's the word now? What's the word now? The reason I was able to stay in that relationship was because where I was in that space, I didn't want a relationship that was committed, right? So if you're available, fine, we'll talk. If you're not available, it's okay. I'm not. It served me at that time, and maybe that's really what's wrong with some ladies. It served them at the time, right? And they don't realize it, and they are still upset. But the truth is that you both used yourself, and in this case, there was no sex. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't like maybe it was just a case of, oh, if it's available, we'll have time to talk, we'll go and eat. Do you understand? The time is not around. Tell God, even me, I need space. I beg, I need space. You get for three or
Yeah.
four years. So, and you need to get to the point that you ask yourself, what do I want in this relationship? Again, because you can't say it is God. Now, let me start giving you breakdown. I'm sure in the book you also read where I talked about the fact that there had been a word that was going to get married at 28.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is, 10 years after is when I married, though. 10 years. Why? Because the truth is that even me, I didn't even know where I was at that time. There is no way that God's mercy would have allowed me marry at that time. Because for me, that was God's mercy speaking. Because after there was a day I thought about it, I'm like, lion, you were Oda. This was years after, right? And this was in me being truthful to myself. Because if I speak to you, I will say I'm telling you my mind. But the Bible says that a fool is not wise until he opens his mouth. So why would my words not be laced with seasoning? Why will I just say things the way I think about it? That's being foolish. So there's no way I would have kept a home in that way. So it took a lot of, molding and breaking and all of those things. I tell people that I would have been their president, Single Mothers Association. I would have been. And it was not because I became 38 that changed. It was because in the years before I got married, I worked on myself. Because again, people assume that these things are fixed as you are getting older. There's no guarantee that you become better with life. Yes, there are so many 30 something year olds that are badly behaved. Badly behaved. So it's not because you are
There
35
are
that you have
so many
become better.
40-year-old men that are badly
Badly,
behaved.
yes. And until we say these things, because people think it's automatically the moment I'm 35, oh, everything is. It's not true. The only thing that gets older in life is your age. If anything else is going to grow, you will need to do the growing. There'll be work that needs to be done by yourself. People think that because the only thing that grows automatically is your age. Any other thing, it means that you are doing the work, you are putting in the effort. And I'm saying this because a lot of people assume that I know myself. It's not just about knowing yourself. It's not about just accepting yourself. Are you in the template that God intended you to be? How did I say it? If the person God has said is your husband comes to you today, Will you be able to identify you as the person? Because these are the issues for the reasons for singleness. If the person comes today, will he find you the way God described you to him? Because God has a particular description for each person. So if the person comes, will the person know that this is the person God was talking about? If you have not done the work that needs to be done, he will be there, but he will not be seeing you. He will be seeing you, but he's not seeing you. He will see you as his friend that will come and talk about all his relationship issues with, never as the wife, never as the husband. These are the things that we need to address. It's not just by saying that I'm now 40, it's time to marry. No, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. Before Adam slept, God had worked on him, God had fixed him. He already had a garden he was tending to. And the rest was that let me go and let me get your wife, let me get her ready. Now I know what you are like. Your makeup is this way. I need to find someone that would suit you in the way you are in your form. And God begins to go out to search for other people. And it's okay, you need to be this way. You need to speak this way. Imagine God coming to you and say that there are certain things you need, certain protocols that you must go through because of the person that is coming your way. And you start negotiating. The person loves purple. Wear purple every day. You say, no, I don't like purple. Yellow is my favorite color. And the person is there and the person is wondering, but God, you said the purple will come today and no purple shows, it's only yellow. And that is just an example. And there are many other things like that. Even the way God wants you to speak, because there's a way the person that He has made, there's a way God has put certain things in him that would attract him. And God is now telling you to do this way. Same for the guy. The lady that, the way she speaks, there's some things that appeals to her. And God is now saying, begin to do these things this way. Your thought has to change in this pattern. And you say no, and you say you're single. Of course you'll be single. And the reality is that if you marry somebody that is not committed to God, the devil does not need to chase you. See, the moment you marry, you get into a wrong marriage. The devil does not even, but you don't see the devil again. What's the point? He has a representative, fully represented in your house, either male or female. If you marry the wrong woman, you will realize that the devil does not, he's not in your house again. He has his agent in your house committed to destroy your destiny. And
So
those are
before
the
you go
things.
on, I want to say something. Um, Please, if you're on this live, make sure you follow Coach Lio. Sometimes subscribe to our channel. Um, I am declaring from today that Coach Lio has resumed a YouTube channel in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost. We
Amen.
inaugurate
Oh my
Coach
God.
Lio's YouTube channel in the name of Jesus. Amen. So please subscribe.
I've been running, to be honest. I've been running from that thing, but
So you have started already, Oti Bereba. You have started already. So please
yes, sir.
go and
I'll try my
subscribe to
best.
Coach Lion's
God will help
channel
me.
because she's going to start releasing content bombs. And please make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to my channel too because we'll be having this type of life. We'll still do this again. We'll be having this type of life and have this conversation. So subscribe, make sure you subscribe. Now, another thing is if you have any question, right, please, I want you to share the question so that we can answer. If you have any question, or there's something we've said that you don't understand, something we've said that you don't agree with, or you have another perspective, please, I want you to just, let's hear your thoughts. Don't just be on this life and be quiet. Let's hear your thoughts. A number of people have seen. I can see Precious, Patrick, Deborah, Elijah, Yetunde. So let's hear you. Let's hear you. If you have any question, please ask your question. Ask your question. So we'll keep talking, but please, if you have any question, please ask your question. Ask your question. For me, like the last thing you said, it is better to be single than to marry wrong.
Oh God.
It is better. It is better to be single than marry wrong. There are people that even as a counselor, when I just see they are married, I say, "Whoa, you just forget it." The only thing that can save you from even if you divorce, you've already had a child with this person. You are forever stuck with this person.
Tied. Yes. I think there's
You
something
are
that connects
forever
you guys.
tied.
Yes. Yes.
Even if the person dies, you are still tied to the person, tied to the person's family. Marriage is a very sacred thing. So
And it's
please,
deep. Ah
yes,
gosh. It's
you
deep.
have to
Oh.
be, you have to be very prayerful, very prayerful. And a lot of people say on social media, it's not like that in real life. Oh. There are things
It's not
when you are
like
saying, you say, I will never take. I will not take it. It's a lie. When you get married, you will take it. You will take it and more.
with Jara. True.
You will take it and more. All right. So the last thing I want to say is that if you're single, put yourself under the mercy of God.
Mm.
Right? The mercy of God is what makes marriage work. It's not because of if you say everybody married that's working, it's the mercy of God. Oh.
It's not anybody's. It's the mercy of
It's the
God.
mercy
Truly.
of God. There's nobody, there's nothing. Marriage will expose your weaknesses. It will expose you. You think you're a good person until you are married. You don't know that.
Wami
What
Oda.
am I? You think you're a respectful person. You don't know until hey, it's the
It's true.
mercy of God. So if you're single, place yourself under the mercy of God. Surrender yourself to the mercy of God, right? And how you see your singleness matters.
Mm.
If you see it as delay, that's what it's going to be. If you call it delay, that's what it's going to be. If you call it a blessing, that's what it's going to be. All right. So don't let society define singleness for you. Sometimes our parents, put pressure on us, and your family, they kind of put pressure on you, make you hate your single state because of the way you are being treated by society. Don't allow yourself to be squeezed into that mode. Whatever they call you is not within your control, but what you call yourself and what you call your single face is within your control.
hundred
You need to
percent.
start calling it what you want it to be. All right. Your single face is not a delay face. It's not a curse. It's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with you. Yeah, you're not less of a human being because you're not married yet. Marriage will not necessarily make you, will not add, how do I put this? It's not like, it's not, swear. But people put too much expectation on marriage, and it's not like that. Marriage may even take more from you than it will give to you. So please,
Mm.
enjoy singleness. It is not a curse, it's a blessing. Maximize it. Like what Coach Layo has been saying, discover yourself, build relationship with God. There was a way I used to pray when I was single. I can't really pray like that again. There's a way I was fasting when I was single. I can't try it now. How? After she has cooked, you now say I'm not eating for the next 7 days. Are you joking? You know, then when I was single, I want to pray 12 hours in tongues. How can I do that now?
Possible. Honestly.
I was there, I'm building capacity. That's what I can do now. It's not going to be fair on my wife. She needs my attention. She needs me to help out in a lot of things. You understand? You have children. When children come into the picture, it's another ball game entirely. There was a single, they are dating. The guy was saying, my girlfriend is not neat. I don't like the way the plate. I said, what's wrong with you? So what will happen when you give birth to children? You think your children will, what are you talking about? My friend, don't sit down. So um, this your singleness is a very beautiful thing. And like Osayo says, not because we are married, that's why we are saying this. And we are telling you as married people that it's a beautiful thing. Enjoy it, maximize it, do what you pursue your dreams.
For sure.
Pursue your dreams, pursue purpose, pursue God. When you are married, this is the best time you can do a lot of the things you want to do. It gets difficult as you go on.
Yes.
You can see like I was here now. Our daughter came. She can't stay on this line. It's a point to come now. She will have to leave because she has to go and attend to her husband. Even me, I'm a man.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I can't stay out. Once it's 8 o'clock, I'll be running back home. You know. So enjoy your life. I'm still waiting for questions. So ask questions. What we are saying, how do you feel about it? Are we hitting the nail on the head? Has this been a blessing to you so far? Please, we would like to know. We would like to know. Yes, Coach Lion.
No, there's something I was also going to say. Jesus said something in John 9:4. He said that I must do the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can walk. So what I always say is that view your single phase as the day where you can do a lot of things, where you can maximize that daytime. Because truly when the night comes, you will not be able to do a lot of things anymore. Not because you're a bad person, but because seasons have just changed. So it means that you must maximize all that you need to in this season. Okay. And the other thing I'm going to say, maybe final word for me would be you also have to be careful about who you are engaging as a single person. I tell people that you also need to be very aware of the environment you build for yourself while you're single. Your friends, the people you get advice from, the people that you follow, right? The stories that you hear people say, because all of those things have a way of making a mark on your soul without you knowing, right? And I give an example for myself. I followed a particular blog because at some point I didn't even realize it, and thank God for the Holy Spirit. It was somebody that told me that you tell me that you want to marry. You're on a page where all they do. And for me, it was just gist. I will not lie, it was just to just see. But then he said that you want to get married. But on this page, all they do is to give examples of men that are useless. All they do is to say men are useless. What are you on this page for? This is not the kind of man that you want to marry. So why are you on this page? Why are you feeding yourself with these stories that these people are telling you? And I had to unfollow, right? Because truly I realized that I don't intend for that to be my perspective. But the reality is that it is a gate that I've left open and things are coming in. Okay. And then the other thing also was somebody was saying to me that she had to unfollow a certain blog. Why? Because the pictures she was seeing of people getting married was beautiful, but not there, and it's not even a gossip blog, right? They were doing those things for the right reasons, but for where she was at that time, she realized that I was doing much more harm to her than good, and she unfollowed. Again, just for you to understand that you need to be present in your own situation to know how things are working for you. That it is good does not mean it is good for you in a particular season that you are in. So it's not everything we see, right, that we need to follow or listen to or even contribute to, because it's a gate that we have left open and things are entering into your gate whether you are aware or not, and you want to just mind that gate so that you don't get to know that the wrong things have entered and you're making your decision based on the things that you don't even want in the first place. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's really good though. Because what you expose yourself to matters, and you have to know yourself. There are people that the only way you have peace of mind is
Honestly,
stop looking at couples goals, so that you can't stop. Because the more you look at couples goals, the more it makes you feel like you are useless or the singleness is bad, right? Focus on your compass, the timeline God has placed for you, right? Don't compare your life with anybody's life. It's not this. There's no point of comparison. Nobody's ahead of you. No, because the person has married, my friend has married, so me too. No, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. This life, especially when it comes to marriage is not a competition.
it's
It's
not
not.
though.
It's not.
It's
It's not.
not though. It's not. It's not though. And this thing you said, even for married people, it's not even on couple goals you should be looking at. There are some
Yeah.
that's just like see, Coach Dennis, I unfollow anyhow. If I see that this is
Mm,
affecting I unfollow you because I don't want to be the one dictating. I unfollow without any apology.
yes.
Unfollow, and I tell people unfollow me if I'm doing things that you do. Unfollow me. It's okay. Let it be that we're all following Jesus Christ. That's what's important. But if I'm going
Yeah.
to post on that will affect your psychology, right, and make you see things or make you think less of yourself, I'm not doing any good. Unfollow, and that's what we all need to be. That selfish, because I realize that a lot of us are not. We are not selfish enough because we let other people's story come into our lives and they begin to rule our lives. And those stories are not the things that we need. Those are not the things that we want. We need to be very selfish not to just allow people to dictate their own terms. And guess what? Those things are curated. I keep saying it. Those things are curated.
Yeah, it's true because you see people put their marriages online. It's the best. Nobody will come and put their quarrel online. You will not
Nobody,
come and
nobody.
nobody will put when the husband and wife are fighting, they will not put it online. See, as a counselor, she's a coach, so we see things.
Oh
Hey,
God,
hey,
God.
hey, hey, we see things, we hear things, and please don't compare. That's just the bit. Don't compare. You are doing fine. There's nothing wrong with you. All right, most of the beautiful marriages you see online that we know, they had their own challenges. Right? They may not just come outside to tell you, but they do. Right? There's no perfect marriage anywhere. There's no perfect couple anywhere. There's no perfect person anywhere. We all have our challenges. Right? It's how we manage it that matters. Right? So please, if you know that you are exposing yourself to certain information, people that makes you feel less of yourself, that makes you feel like your singleness is a problem, you can just block, avoid, all right, so
Yes,
that you
sir.
can appreciate where you are. All right. So please, my own final word would be please celebrate your singleness, appreciate your singleness. Go to God and thank Him for the fact that you are single. All right. And you see that God will open your eyes to what you ought to do. And at the right time, the right person will come for you. Right. Then the reality also could be that the right person for you may not look like it yet. May God give you the
Mm.
discernment to know. May God give you the sensitivity to know. For my when I told my wife I want to marry her, I didn't look like it. And the reason why maybe I didn't look like it was because she didn't know me that much. We just met in 2 weeks I already said I want to marry her. So
Oh
she didn't know
wow.
me that much. Yeah, she didn't know me that much. Maybe she had known me that much, maybe she would have had more confidence, but she didn't know me that much. But she didn't say no. As a matter of fact, I told her as soon as she had said she would think about it, I would say she's not the one. If she had, when I asked her out, if she had told me, let me go and think about it. I, I, I was that confident of myself that if you see gold, you're supposed to know. If you don't know gold, immediately you see it. You are not the right person.
Oh
I
wow.
didn't look like when I told her I want to get married to her, I was living with my parents. Not because I was broke, but at that point, I needed to be with them. I was taking care of most of the bills. So I was spending most of my money on my family. So I was very broke. Not because I was not making money. But she had the discernment to see beyond that.
Mm.
So one of the things I will pray for you is that God will give you discernment. The
Amen.
person you're meant to marry most likely is already around you, right?
Yes.
Is somebody is around you, or the person knows somebody around you already. May God give you the discernment.
Amen.
May
Oh
God
wow.
give you discernment. It's discernment. God give me the discernment to know. Many a times it will not look like short. If it's looking like it too much, be very careful. If the person you want to marry is looking like he has everything you want, you are most likely entering into a trap. Pray. There's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are ways of death. Double check, double check, double check. And I pray for you that God will give you discernment to choose. All right.
Amen.
If I were going to look at the circumstances around my wife then too, I probably would have not married her. But I knew in my spirit that she was the one. She also knew if she because even like this, she was asking me, how did I even marry yourself? Because the metrics were really bad.
Mm.
Like we're really, really bad. If you look at it physically, no. But God gave her that discernment. May God give you discernment to
Amen.
know. Yeah.
Amen. This thing you have said is deliverance, because truly, sometimes we want people that look like it, but unfortunately, we have people that look like it, talk like it, walk like it, act like it, and they are not it, right? So that discernment is actually very important, and I really pray that the Lord would help, everyone on this call to realize that it's not about just the physical things that we see, but by God putting, light in your heart to know the right person, to be
There are
with.
wicked people out there.
Oh,
There
there are
are
many.
manipulative people out there. There are demonic people out there. There are Satan have sent his people, his weapons to come after his children. And they are the major tool they have is deceit. Please may God give you the design. I've had Christians, good women that marry dangerous men.
Again, Coach Dennis, sorry, before you go on, again, I mean, we are supposed to be rounding up, but this thing you have said, I just need to talk. And that's why I always say to ladies, sometimes we are too emotional for our own good. And I say it as a principle that I use for myself, my general principle. When I'm making life determining decisions, when I'm making life things that are important to my destiny related decisions, most of the time, 95% of the time, my emotions are outside of the door. 95% of the time, my emotions are outside of the door. Because I realize that it's the emotions that the devil uses against us a lot of the time. And then we now become foolish in the decisions that we make. Emotions is not enough. Liking somebody is not enough for the person to
Single people are
be.
the most difficult people to advise. So
See, the other day I was speaking to somebody. She told me, say, Nigbo. She said, you, but said, somebody very popular. The day she said, Nigbo. They are very, in fact, you can become their enemy because of this thing. And I'm happy. But I always say it when you're making destiny defining decisions, please leave your emotions outside. Pick decide first, then come back and pick your emotions. Your emotions have a way of catching up with wherever you are. That's
yeah.
the reality. Your emotions will catch up. But when you make decisions based on the wrong things, how do you want to now undo it? And marriage is so life changing that you cannot afford to just end up with anybody. You cannot afford it. And that will be my last word. Please, when you want to make decisions like this, in my own situation, apart from the fact that okay, I had met my husband, there were people in my life that I made sure he met as well because it's possible that I know they see again, right? So I people that didn't even know him, and I plus my friends that were not in the country, they spoke to him over the phone. We had Zoom call, we had WhatsApp calls, right? Speaking to everybody that mattered to me. What do you think? What do you think? So if they had said no, and that's why I tell people that for me, knowing that my mom loves me or my parents love me, I would not be, I would not marry somebody my mom says no to for the kind of home I'm from because I know she loves me, right? And looking at the trajectory of my life, so it's not because it can't be on this one that they will now say no, this person is bad without any valid reason. Do you understand? Again, I leave my emotions outside. When I make my decisions, my emotions can always catch up, and I realize our emotions are stronger than they look. They will catch up with whatever decision that we make. So I will not let my emotions be the one that will ride my decisions. So it's not just about the fact that the guy can speak the way I like him to speak, or the way he looks like the way there's so we have dream guys. It's not because he looks like it. It's not because he talks like it. I need to find out if he's really like it before I now say yes. And that is so important. So we don't end up saying God when God is saying that was not me. That was not. You said I was. That was not me. It was not me. You didn't even have the conversation with me. You had it with your emotions. Your emotions told you it was God, but it was not me. You know, and that's how strong emotions, how powerful they can be. They can speak so loudly that you'll be sure that that was God speaking. Yeah.
And that's why it's important to be accountable, right? Have somebody that you have given, have at least two people that you have given the right to correct you. You have given the permission to call you to order, the permission to tell you the bitter truth. Have at least two people like that. There are people in authority, people you respect,
Good job.
that that you can say, and please don't marry anybody, don't date anybody that is not accountable. If you are a lady here, don't date any guy that nobody can
You
talk
will
to.
suffer, like you say, Coach Dennis. You will suffer.
You will cry. You will cry. Don't marry anybody that is not accountable. Don't try it. Anybody that has refused accountability has indirectly chosen to be irresponsible.
Hey God.
See, any human being that is not accountable, the person misbehave. It is human. So be account. If you are here, you don't have somebody that can call you to order. You must go to the person and say, I give you the permission. If you see me going wrong, call me to order. Correct me. If you talk to me, I will listen. The Bible talk about Nabal. He said nobody can talk to him. He's a foolish man. He's a son of Belial. No man
Ah.
can talk to him. So don't be that kind of person and don't marry or date anybody that cannot have somebody that can talk to you. And if you are listening to this, you don't have somebody you submit to. Coach Layo is here. Go and submit. Go and submit, oh. Go and submit. Hmm. Go and submit. One of the major difference in my life when I say, oh, I met my wife in January, late January, and we got married in December. The difference was I was accountable through the process. There were two people I was going to. This is where I am. Or I met this woman. I met this lady. Can you help me assess her? Then when I wanted to ask her out, I told my coach first. I want to ask her out, or should I go ahead? Go ahead. After I asked her out, she said yes. So I want to propose. There was somebody that I was accountable to. If I was doing what was wrong, funnily, she was even a woman. Say, no, don't do that. No, don't give both of you should not be. No, don't go there. Yes, go ahead. I was accountable. And my wife knew there was somebody that she could always report me to. Up until now. I'm even accountable to Lion actually. My wife called Lion and said, your brother is misbehaving. Oh. If na your cousin, Lion can ball for me like, give him a buy. No, no, no. I must be, I'm accountable. So there are people I don't want my wife to call to report me. So I will not misbehave.
Mm.
I don't want my wife to call Lion and say, well, brother, misbehave. I don't want that. So even when I don't feel like I feel like misbehaving, I can't. Even when I'm tempted to misbehave, to just tell my wife, so where wow, okay, sha. Because I can't. Imagine my wife now call her and I say, your brother abused me.
You will explain.
So there's accountability in place, there's system and structures in place that will not make me want to misbehave. I can't do anyhow. There are people that will start fast. Oh, yeah, wow, are you okay? What I just see you do there? I can't try it. So accountability is a powerful thing. You should be accountable and marry someone who is accountable. Anybody that has refused to be accountable will be irresponsible in the long run. This is my own final. I will not talk again. I promise. What do you have to say
Coach,
about that, man?
Coach Dennis, I mean, there's nothing to add to what you have said. Because if you don't do what you said, you will suffer, like it says. Because the reality is that there are instances when there's a tendency for people to want to misbehave, even me, right? But having someone you're accountable to, and you don't want the person to just you don't even want it to be heard about you, that can also put you in check. It's not just only about, oh, it is only God the Father that nobody can see that will be accountable to. Get people that you can see like yourself and it is so important. These things, they seem like a joke, but it's when you now marry that you realize that all of these things that is being referenced, they are quite important. and it begins to play out when you get married. Don't wait until you're there to say that and they told me I did not listen. It's not worth it, honestly. The way people suffer in marriage, you realize that it's not worth going through it. Not not I'm coming. Not doing, you see, they're calling me. Not doing the things that you ought to do, right? So that's a good place to learn it. Say that at the end of the day, be accountable. And accountability, I just accountability means that you will do the things you need to do. I know Coach Dennis has said that singleness is this, you are doing well. Some people are not doing well, Coach Dennis. Let us be honest. As single people, they are not doing well. See, I don't think until we begin to have this kind of they are not doing well, right?
You know what? Let's act it here. Next
Uh-huh.
time we'll talk. Maybe we'll do it during the week. We'll talk about
Uh,
people that are not doing well, people that are
uh-huh.
misbehaving. Right? We'll talk about that. You people did not ask question. Oh. We've been here waiting for your question for more than 20
I'm
something
coming.
minutes, no question. So we want to believe that what we this discussion was beneficial to you. Please let us know if this conversation was beneficial to you in any way. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel. Then the replay will be available. We are going to upload the replay. So I will share the link. Please, if you want to come back and listen to this conversation again, make sure you do, right? And we are going to be having this type of live from time to time to discuss these
Yeah.
things. If there are things you want us to discuss, please let us know. Please, if you need coaching, counseling, therapy, you can reach out to Coach Lyle. Please join Coach Lyle's community if you are single and you need guidance. I'm telling you, I recommend Coach Lyle 100%. 100%. She's not just someone that is skillful at what she does. She will love you. She will nurture you. Then she will pray for you.
I'll pray.
That's
Oh.
not where,
Very important.
and it's a good thing to have Coach Lyle in your corner. Like I recommend that Coach Lyle to you. All right, so thank you so much, Coach Lyle. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Thanks
much
to
for
your
thank you
Coach
so much for
Charmin for
inviting me.
allowing me to have this conversation by this time. And I want to say thank you to my wife. Thank you, my sweetheart. My love, my love. All right, for allowing me to come out because I'm in my office to have this conversation. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Till we see again. Bye bye.
Bye.